Welcome to the Laneverse. I am the Madam Laneverse, and today I am getting into the current direction of the channel. And just some changes. More changes. I'm gonna keep my team brief. Cause I live on TikTok. But yeah, it's the 18th of April 2024. Next video is coming out May 18th, 2024. Then I'm going back to the format of the 1st and 18th of each month that I'm putting out a video. It's just the structure's changing, so let's just get straight into it. I'm doing a one-shot. I guess I'll be doing edits or whatever. But pretty much I'm going through some changes. You see, I'm going to be very transparent. See, I'm aging. I get rid of these puffy ass eyes, man. It's a work in progress getting my skin back on track. Because it's been a stressful 6 months. I will get into the details of that in May. Maybe June. But yeah, I'll do it in June when I do the June 1st video, the June 18th video. But just to get straight into it, my thing is like this had started out as like an art channel pretty much. And you see my eyes going everywhere. I'm looking for the camera. As it goes with this shit. But and it got really vloggy or just personal, blah blah blah. And yeah, it's just been a lot of internal changes as far as me deciding how I'm using this channel for my career, my livelihood, what that even means, how I'm changing as a person. And at the core of everything is that I don't really want to shake the childhood desire of taking off with my own stories and doing my own art thing. So that's really what this video is about, is moving the channel more in the direction of art. And that's just also impacting me personally, as far as there have been ups and downs where I was making art every day and I was drawing every day and I was making like doodles. I wasn't really calling them illustrations because I was just giving myself 50 minutes to ideate, just come up with an idea and then just put it together as best as I wanted to. But it wasn't really on my to-do list to go further with it. So it wasn't a complete illustration. So I just called them doodles. But I hadn't really made time for that because I gotta make money. And I was just trying to figure out if my art was gonna fit into me having offering that as like a service. And I was trying to get myself to go in that direction, but I just couldn't I just couldn't bring myself to do it because I just want to work on my own. If I'm pouring the art energy, and really my thing is also developing the stamina to do at least 2 hours of drawing a day. I want that to be focused on, because it's such a small window of time, and because I feel like there's other ways that I want to make money being self-employed that I believe just offer a higher value based off of, like, I want to use my marketing experience and my branding experience in the cannabis industry from the past going on 6 years. I do want to capitalize on that. So it's really just being strategic in how I'm using my time and my skills to make the most amount of money and to offer the most value. But on the flip side, being able to invest a satisfying amount of time to cultivate this creative part of me that has this creative part of me that's going for like mastery and that I'm looking to build over the next 10 years. So that was even a thing, was getting into how I want, if I want to talk about the long term, me bringing these ambitions and these visions up, it got me really getting into how I had buried a lot of that. And it wasn't that I was denying myself of it. It was more so I didn't want people to know, because I didn't want people. It's just so vulnerable and fresh, or it's just been a very sensitive, like squishy part of me that it's like I don't want to share things and deal with people's shit about it, when it's like I'm gonna do this regardless, but I don't feel like dealing with all this negative energy, despite like there's the positive attention, everything coming through in the support, which, love y'all who are watching this for the support. The ones who are watching the hate are, it's like, that's just like a whole life lesson, is learning to navigate that there's like fucking weirdos who, of course it's a long yeah, there's weirdos that just, instead of pouring your energy into like being something, you try to tear people down, or you just feel this incessant need that I don't know, it's a really dysfunctional way to be. I don't try to understand you creatures. I don't want to understand those creatures. I just don't want them in my space, but that's a life lesson, is that they're always just gonna exist. So to get where we at on time, to get right into what I'm doing. The other thing was how I got 2 hours to do something art wise. So it's like, it's a finite amount of time as I get the stamina and the money to be able to invest more time to focus into just pouring more into projects. It's okay, let's focus. Let's narrow the focus. Let's do art that is adding up to something, and all the art, here or there, I'll do sketches of something else, but all the art is adding up to something. So previous videos, I have loosely talked about projects like Kanban and Orange91. The main direction that this channel is going in is the Orange91 direction, because that is a purely personal project, and that is what pulls me forward ambition-wise with the things that I want to put into the world, and it's pretty much at the core of why I'm choosing to live and function and do the things I do, which I won't completely get into right now, but I will share over time. And I also just have gotten to a place where it's like, yeah, it's easy. It's easy to talk about things. It's like, I also like talking things out to better formulate it. It's not fully putting it in the world, but as opposed to it just being in my head, it takes it out of this less amorphous place. And once I verbalize it, especially to other people, it starts to become more real for me. Of course, there is like the science and the self-helpy shit where it's like, oh, don't talk about your goals because your brain will think you already did it. But like, you're also in charge of your mind. So like, we already know when you do this shit. So like, be for real. But I guess it just depends on how your mind works. I think like certain studies and books and everything, you take things with a grain of salt, what works for you and what doesn't, and also take agency of how you're taking in that information and how your mind processes things. Like, again, a lot of what I've been working through is really getting in touch with what I'm truly in control of, what I'm choosing to take control of when it comes to myself and influencing myself to shift into just different ways of being to get the things I want. So, all that to say, with Orange91, I've been wanting to put out, like, the vision has been, the ultimate vision is to make it into, like, a short film, maybe anthology, but like to put together like maybe it's feature film, like 90 minutes, but it's a collection of short films of highlighting different characters. So it's not like just one long story. It's just a collection of different character stories. I come up with this idea when I was 13, 12, 13, after seeing Kill Bill, which I guess was inappropriate. But it really just opened my eyes, I guess, in the realm of storytelling, where there was the revenge story, there was the violence, there was just all these dark elements that, and then like I wrote a novel, the novelization, when I was in high school for National Novel Writing Month, and I have yet to win National Novel Writing Month after nearly 20 years. Maybe this gotta be the year. But even as a kid, I was struggling with like the novelization process of like the long saga. And I thought it was sexy because I've read novels and I've read like novel series and things like that. But I don't remember what age it was. Maybe it was when I got into my 30s, or like late 20s was when I'll probably like make a video about it. But there was something that clicked with me when I got into reading short stories, and I think there was like some book. I know the Golem and the Genie, or the Genie and the Golem, whatever. That book put me on to like character driven stories versus plot driven stories, where it's mostly just focused on the character development, as opposed to like there's some overarching save the world type shit. And I got kind of bored with that, because you know that's where most anime, most series, most anything goes. Like there's this super big problem, and I didn't find that attractive anymore. And as I was maturing and going through my own changes, and just, yeah, as I got older, watching a lot of different shows and stuff, I'm tired of the dark shit. So it's like the story ended up kind of making a flip, where the story made a flip, and then again me considering my own life experiences, where it's like we change ideally over time, and typically our changes come from other people's influence, whether that's harming us, building us, or a chance meeting where you get to know someone else's perspective, and it gives you a new perspective on your own existence, or to help you realize certain things about yourself. So that got me thinking about how to handle Orange91, where it was like a Yakuza revenge tale with a half black, half Japanese main character. And then I killed off her parents, and her brother was brainwashed. And then I started getting more interest in her mother and her parents, because then I started losing track of the character and what her personality was like. And I was like, well, what if I didn't kill off her parents? What if her parents were still around? Like, okay, why would anybody even want to kill them off? What would be the outstanding thing about these characters, about these people, especially a black woman marrying a Japanese Yakuza man? Like, what would be something unique that she could bring to the Japanese mafia? And I was like, oh, like, I got into the cannabis industry. I was 29 years old. And then that is just pretty much, the more experiences I got, the more the story grew. Like when I was in college, so I guess when I'm 21, 22, I graduated when I was 22. So probably like 20, 21, like junior year of college, I had taken this class called Japan at the Margins and learned about marginalized groups in Japan. And I think they probably only make up about 6% of the Japanese population, but it's like Korean immigrants and Korean immigrants and Korean immigrant descendants, Chinese immigrants. They're not technically citizens. They have to walk around with passports. Of course, you have the mixed Japanese population. Then you have this entire group of Japanese people who were a part of like the pariah class way back in the Tokugawa era, but they're still ostracized in Japan. They're called the Burakumin. And then, of course, you have the Rainbow Mafia and how Japan handles lesbian, LGBTQ, that entire community. And then I got into cannabis, where that's very much illegal in Japan. There are like legal things happening. Like they have CBD and semi-synthetic cannabinoids. They have like CBD cafes and stuff. But just all these different perspectives got me thinking of, what if this was a Yakuza group that they rose to the top because they managed to sell cannabis in Japan and they made cannabis hot in Japan? What if the main character was just, as opposed to, okay, a revenge because her parents were killed, what if she was just really laid back because she grew up in a well-off family? Like, what would that mean for her as a potential heir, or her younger brother, where there's certain dichotomies and whatnot in like family issues, where she's a darker skin tone than her younger brother. They got the same parents, but he came out looking more Japanese, and what are the implications of that? So it just really became a fun thing to play with. And because there's so many different characters and they have so many different backgrounds, it's like, instead of me, later down the line, I can put this all together as like one story, but really let me explore each of these different characters or certain characters and their dynamics and make those into short stories and turn that into a book, put that out twice a year and do that. And, that's for me as getting into my creative writing and making that public, and also just building interest for, further down the line, if I start a Kickstarter. And really my thing is with my business ventures is to fund my own films. So to fund my own animation studio, to fund my own films, and to be so well off financially that I pay my animators and my animation studio, all my employees well. They get benefits. They work a normal schedule. If we're on a crunch time, they get paid well for that. They're able to have a family and live lives beyond just being animation artists. So that's my vision. More on that later, but just to start producing these books and putting out the art regularly with this channel is to, develop the interest and to get the bread to make this reality. I mean, it's going to be reality regardless, but you cool if you on board with it now, because then you can brag about it. You can talk to your grandkids about it, especially if you know me personally. If I talk to you in person and we like Gucci and you put your dollars towards it, hey man, you're a part of a legend in the making right now. So with that said, there's a coffee link down below to support the realm, to contribute to the development of the Laneverse and the Orange91 series collection that's happening. I'm putting out the first book that I've been wanting to do for years, but now it's happening. So it's going out July 18th, 2024, this summer. I already have short stories. So they have to, like, I'd written them years ago. So they have to be, like, edited and whatnot. And then pairing them with illustrations. So it's like an illustrated short story collection So like essentially like me drawing keyframe, but like it's all fleshed out. I guess that's what keyframe animation looks like anyway. Anyway, taking keyframes from the stories and putting those in the book, and then also turning those keyframes into merchandise. That has been my plan for the past couple years. So I am bringing that to fruition. I am focusing the channel on that. So pretty much the next video is just going to be more art focused. I'll be posting the art that I'm doing. Because it's just going to be kind of sporadic as far as what the visuals are going to be. There's an artist named CT Chrysler. There'll be the link in the description. He's been a major, and I've been following this man's art for over 10 years. And he has his story concept called Damn. his character is Annie, because the guy from her name is Annie Mae from anime, but he doesn't have like a cohesive story. He just does art and animation, because he works in the animation industry, so he animates and like makes music and all this stuff for Annie. And that, I think that, yeah, that's a part of what was inspiring me with the direction I decided to go in with Orange91 being more loosey-goosey. So yeah, I'll have the link below for you to check out his stuff. And you want to support the realm, there's going to be the coffee link. Laniverse website will be back up very soon. And there will be a dedicated Orange91 section. I am considering if I'll just start adding merch on there anyway, because I have a threadless shop. So, because I have some old art that I'll start sharing on here. So yeah. Thanks for tuning in, spending time with me. This was not supposed to be as long as it was, but here we are. So, subscribe if you vibe. Consider liking. Share with love. And comment wisely. Like I said, I'll be uploading the images on the feed throughout the week. So it will be older images while I have a current illustration that I'm finishing, and I'll be posting that. And I'm really just thinking on what I want to do first for Orange91. But yeah, like I said, I'll be posting up pretty much all the art that I've done that I have online that I have access to. I'll be posting that up on YouTube and in the feed. And yeah, I will see you on April 18th or May 18th. And that'll be a very special episode. But thank you for your time. Thank you for your support. And I look forward to going on this journey with you, because I've been stewing on this shit for way too long, but all things in divine timing. Odeamos.